I sat through 13 songs. I counted them, but as soon as they played Cowboy Take Me Away, I got down on one knee and I proposed to her.
Friends, we are gathered here together in the sight of God to witness and bless the joining together of Jimmy and Michaela in Christian marriage.
Always remember, love her with all your heart. You love him with all your heart. And marriage is a thing that's eternal. It never, ever stops. You can be mad with the world, but as long as you two have one another, you can face all the devils in the world. But my wife is my backbone in my marriage. And I tell you, I wish y'all the best. If y'all would just hold on to one another and make it through every day, hold on to one another, you'll be fine. But if you ever think that you can make it on your own, you're going to get yourselves hurt. So hold tight to each other. That's all I can say. He's always been my best man. To watch him grow up, there's nothing in the world greater than to see your son develop into a man. And we raised him on godly values. We raised him to put his family first. And we raised him to love his neighbors and to care for one another. And always be that person to help someone instead of putting somebody down. And I tell you, as a father, I'm very proud of my son, very proud of my son. He is the greatest thing that ever happened in my life besides my beautiful wife, Teresa Wells, and my daughter Ashley.
It's called the cross ceremony. And at this time, they're going to assemble what is called a unity cross, which is a beautiful sculpture that they will display in their home to remind them of the covenant they're making today. In Genesis chapter 1, we read, God created man in his own image. That means that he created us to be bold, strong, to be protectors of our family. So now we ask, Jimmy, take this part. The outer form of this cross represents the strength, leadership, and protection that Jimmy provides. The book of Ephesians reminds husbands to love their wives as Christ loves the church, which means totally and completely giving ourselves for the church and for Jimmy to give himself for Michaela. The base of this sculpture represents the cornerstone of God's presence that supports this covenant.
Michaela come in the picture. They've been together a long time, so I got to meet Michaela. Always bright, energetic, very, very happy all the time. She don't like the picking that the Wellses do. We do a lot of picking because we don't care. We love everybody. We don't mean nothing by it. So if we do pick on you, it's just because we love you. And but Michaela, you have to be careful. You have to touch her with kitty gloves, until she got used to us. About after, 3 years, maybe 3.5 years, she started getting used to us.
Genesis 2:20 through 23 tells us the woman was taken from man, that the bride's piece of the unity cross represents the beauty and capabilities of the woman. So it is also designed as she is, with beautiful, intricate detail, and is placed within the protection of the groom's cross, completing this sculpture and reminding us of the two becoming one.
Michaela was always my sidekick, and everywhere I was, where she was, one was right behind us. Michaela was always like the friend, when you wanted to do something, you would call your dad and be like, hey, can I go to this party after the football game? And right before he said no, you'd be like, Michaela's gonna go with me. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, like y'all have fun, be back by 1. Well, we find ourselves on the Myrtle Beach Strip. And there's one stoplight there, and Michaela slung that door open and tried to do the Chinese fire drill in front of everyone. And it was great. She probably would have been everyone's time, but there was sand on the pavement, and she slid and ate the pavement, and it was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. An hour later, after traffic, we walk in, and my dad's sitting there, and he said, hope y'all guys had fun. Because Renee Moff is never going to let Michaela come back over here. And here we are, 12 years later, and we're making these roots, and we're building these families, and I'm so honored to have been in your bridal party today. And Jimmy, you're a very, very lucky man. And I will say that I'm very happy that you have been promoted to wedgie duty.
And who is it that's here to give away this young lady? Michaela, will you have Jimmy to be your husband, to live together in holy marriage? Will you love, comfort, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? If so, say, I will.
I will.
Jimmy, will you have Michaela to be your wife, to live together in holy marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live? If so, say, I will.
I will. I, Jimmy, take you
Michaela, to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward.
for better, for worse,
For better, for worse,
for richer, for poor,
for richer, or poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish.
to love and to cherish.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
In the name of God,
I, Michaela,
I, Michaela,
take you to be my husband,
take you to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day
for
forward,
better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poor,
for richer, for poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish.
to love and to cherish.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
These rings are the outward and visible sign of an inward and spiritual grace, signifying to all the uniting of these two in holy marriage. Let us pray. Lord, bless the giving of these rings, that they who wear them may live in your peace and continue in your favor all the days of their life.
Jimmy, I give you this ring as a sign of my vow. With all that I am and all that I have, I honor you.
Michaela, I give you this ring, the sign of my vow. All that I am, and all that I have, I honor you.
We invite the two of you to share the peace of Christ in a kiss.
Okay.
All right. Please stand, because I would like to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Wells II.
No matter where I'm going, I feel better just knowing it's true. I'll come back to you. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'll come back to you.
Do the first dance right now. Jimmy actually proposed to this song about a year ago at a Dixie Chicks concert.
If I'm 1,000 miles away, dear, I still come back for you. This highway that I'm driving